Yeah, thanks, Nick. This is very helpful. The one thing where I find is I get that everything is within me and I have all the power to create.
Yeah, pause for a
And
second. Pause. I love that you're saying that because
mm,
what we're doing here is we're bridging that spiritual notion
mhm,
into practicality, right? So
yeah,
anybody that's been studying spiritual stuff for a long time, they understand and they've heard this concept that you contain it all, and your consciousness or reality is a reflection of your consciousness and all that stuff. But what we're literally doing here is we're taking that theoretical concept and we're merging it with the practical to enable us to become these full creators. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So thank you for that. And the piece that really hangs me up is I'm okay just chilling out and enjoying and doing all these things. And then I get to a point of like I'm not getting any inspiration. I'm not getting any inspiration to act. I'm not getting any inspiration to move in any particular direction, though I'm okay with what things are going. I mean, I could be on cruise control and that can be okay, but it's not really leading me to what the discoveries that I want or the place that I see myself.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm kind of just hanging out and stuck.
Yeah. Okay. So two things come to mind there. So one on the notion of lack, you're noticing lack of inspiration, lack of things to do,
Right.
lack of fun to have.
Right.
So A, that's where the lack aspect fits in.
Hmm.
Right? So if you're sitting around at home all the time going, oh, there's nothing to do, there's nothing to do, there's nothing to do. Well, nothing to do is ever going to show up, right?
Hmm.
So second note from an alignment perspective, when we're not receiving inspirations, it's typically either because we're not in alignment, right? Or because we fear it. So we fear the excitement, we fear the inspiration. There's fear kind of creating resistance that's blocking it. So for you, when you're kind of sitting on your couch, contemplating life, contemplating what you want to do, would you say you're in a high vibe emotional state or kind of more neutral?
More neutral at that point.
Yeah. So you're kind
Yeah.
of like in a creating by default kind of state.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
more just, yeah,
Yeah.
cruise control.
So my advice from that vantage point is start putting together a little bit more of a morning practice. Start looking for fun. Start saying, what could I do differently today? Because we've talked about this before where when we're in our at-home life, we get into these mundane routines where we just keep manifesting the same thing all the time because our expectations are that everything's just going to be the same. And part of breaking free from the expectation of sameness is forcing yourself to go out and like do different things.
Mm.
And part of what created this, what you're going to find in this blueprint is that this weekend, Nick and I, we took off for 3 days. We were like, I need a screen break. We went to Prince Edward Island off the coast here, where we love to go in the off season, where they got great restaurants and stuff. We had a super fun afternoon, and then like I had reservations at this really expensive restaurant, this high end restaurant, and I was like, I don't want to eat that expensive food. I just feel like a pizza. So we canceled the reservation, and we just followed our inspiration and went to this pizza place. And literally, it was one of like the best pizza experiences I ever had. We spoke with the manager for like 5 minutes. We each ordered our pizzas. They screwed up our first two pizzas. They put the wrong crusts on them. So they literally brought us those two pizzas in boxes and they said, we're making you the right one. So we literally got double the pizza for the same price. My favorite dessert, who knows what my favorite dessert is here? You guys have heard my stories before, right? So tiramisu. So they had tiramisu at the restaurant, which I can rarely find anywhere. So this was literally like one of the best, most inspired restaurant outings, I've had in a really, really long time. And there was no intense setting, there was no pre-paving, there was no efforting into it at all. It was just we had a really good afternoon of just having fun getting into alignment. So from that place of fun and alignment, it doesn't matter where you're going or what you're doing, that unfolding is going to be magical, right? So is this helping at all?
Yeah, I do see the routine kind of taking over. So certainly having a in that sense, there is some. I guess Abraham Hicks says priming the pump. You take some sort of action that changes up the routine or something that just creates
Totally.
a different
And it
experience.
can be something random like go to Barnes and Nobles and just go look at some books, or go sit in a coffee shop and have a coffee, and just don't look for the inspiration, because anytime you look for something, guess what you're doing?
You're focusing on the lack of it.
You're
Yeah.
noticing the lack,
Right.
right? And that was one of the big ahas for me now about everybody chasing the desires, is that by chasing all these desires, we're all in lack, right? And when you go back and look at all your big manifestations, at least for me, they all showed up when I didn't expect it, because I wasn't busy noticing the lack and I wasn't busy chasing after it.
Right. Okay. That helps.
So I guess the summary is: one, get in alignment. Two, stop noticing the lack of inspiration or the lack of excitement or the lack of things to do. And three, just try to create a new routine. Go do something you typically wouldn't do on a Tuesday or Wednesday morning.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Keep us posted. I want to see how you make out with that.
And by the way, since I've started, my a lot of things have worked out really well financially, and just a lot of ease has come in. So thank you for
Awesome.
that. Yeah.
Awesome. Keep expecting it to get better and better.
Yes, it is.
Cool.